Kelsey Mitchell, who was unbelievable, she scored 1 point in the second half, and it was on a free throw where she missed. And, like, this game was lost on the free throw line. Like, Chelsea Gray, you got to give credit where credit's due. She was fantastic. Chelsea Gray was absolutely fantastic.
Imagine being on top of the world 1 minute and then watching it all slip away the next. That's exactly what happened to Caitlin Clark and the Fever. She broke the assist record, but then things went south. Want to know how it all went down? Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Let's talk about Caitlin's big moment. She dished out a record-breaking assist, showing everyone why she's the talk of the WNBA. But here's the crazy part. Even with Clark's amazing play, the Fever couldn't seal the deal. They lost to the Aces 78-74. Can you believe it? You know what's even crazier? There's a hidden flaw that messed everything up for the Fever. I can't tell you what it is yet, but trust me, it's gonna blow your mind when you find out. And get this, this game wasn't just any game. It was huge for the Fever's playoff chances. Talk about high stakes. The tension was through the roof, and Clark was right in the middle of it all. Now picture this. Clark's on fire, breaking records left and right. But there's a catch. She's doing it all without putting the ball in the hoop herself. Sounds crazy, right? Well, that's exactly what happened.
Surprisingly enough, like, Caitlin Clark on iffy shooting percentages, it was a whole lot worse to start the game. Caitlin had 0 at halftime.
Let's talk about that mind-blowing moment. It's the second quarter, clock ticking down to 4:55. Clark's got the ball for an inbounds pass. She spots Kelsey Mitchell making a move. In a flash, Clark whips that ball to Mitchell, who drives to the basket and scores. And just like that, history's made. You know what's insane? That assist wasn't just any old pass. It was the one that pushed Clark over the edge, breaking the WNBA single-season rookie assist record. Can you believe it? A rookie, outpacing veterans who've been in the game for years. But here's where things get wild. While Clark was dishing out assists like nobody's business, her own shooting game was ice cold. First half, 0 points. She missed all 5 of her shots from the field, even missed 2 free throws. Talk about a roller coaster, right? And get this, Clark was so frustrated, she even got hit with a technical foul. I mean, can you imagine the pressure? Breaking records 1 minute, struggling to score the next. That's the kind of night it was for Clark. But let's zoom out for a second. This assist record, it's just the cherry on top of Clark's insane rookie season. Earlier this year, she set the WNBA single-game assist record with 19 assists in 1 game. That's not just good for a rookie. That's good for anyone in the league, period. After the game, Clark didn't hold back. She said, "I think it definitely speaks to the whole entire year and how historic it has been for this league and how great the basketball has been for the league." She's not wrong. Clark's not just playing the game, she's changing it. Think about it. Clark just snatched this record from Alyssa Thomas, and she did it as a rookie. That's not just impressive, it's game-changing. It's the kind of thing that makes people sit up and take notice. It's the kind of thing that defines a career. You want to know what's really wild? Clark's impact on the game goes way beyond just scoring. Even when her shot's not falling, she's out there making plays, setting up her teammates, and breaking records. That's the mark of a true star. Clark's assist record should have been the headline, but it wasn't. Instead, a basic basketball fundamental became the Fever's nemesis. How could something so elementary cost a professional team so dearly? Let's talk about free throws. You know, those shots you practice in your driveway as a kid? Well, they turned out to be the Fever's kryptonite. It's crazy to think that something so simple could trip up a pro team, right? Here's the deal. The Fever went 11 for 20 from the free throw line. That's just over 50%. In a tight game like this, those missed points were huge. We're talking about the difference between winning and losing.
Caitlin Clark missed her 2 early in the game, but like when we look at third and fourth quarter free throws, 0 of 2 for Alyssa Smith. The Fever literally go where Caitlin goes. When Caitlin wasn't on the floor for 5 minutes in the first quarter, they scored 2 points. The Fever go where Caitlin goes.
You want to know what's really wild? Some of the Fever's key players struggled big time at the line. Nalissa Smith and Tammy Flannery both went 0 for 2. Dantas only hit 1 of 2.
1 of 2 for Dantas, 0 of 2 for Temi, 1 of 2 for Kelsey Mitchell. Like, the game was lost on the free throw line. It really was.
These aren't just random misses. They're momentum killers. Imagine this. You're in a close game. The crowd's going wild, and you step up to the line for some free points. But then, clank. The ball bounces off the rim. That's not just 2 points lost. It's a confidence hit, too. Now, let's put this in perspective. The WNBA average for free throws is way higher than what the Fever showed. They weren't just having an off night, they were way off the mark. And in a game decided by just 4 points, those misses hurt even more. You know what's crazy? While Clark was out there breaking records, her team was breaking their chances to win. It's like they were playing 2 different games. Clark's dishing out assists like candy on Halloween, but the team can't cash in on the easiest shots in basketball. Let's be real for a second.
Nalissa Smith being part of the late game lineup just cannot be a thing. That just cannot. In the playoffs, you cannot play Nalissa Smith. You cannot. We have to just get off Nalissa Smith.
Free throws are called free for a reason. They're supposed to be the easy points. But for the Fever that night, they might as well have been trying to shoot blindfolded. And here's the kicker. This wasn't just any game. This was a crucial match for the Fever's playoff hopes. Every point mattered. Every missed free throw was like a tiny dagger in their postseason dreams. You want to know the real tragedy? Clark's record-breaking performance got overshadowed by these missed opportunities. It's like throwing the perfect party, but forgetting to invite the guests. All that hard work, and it comes down to something as basic as free throws. Players and commentators kept saying the same thing. The game was lost on the free throw line. And they're not wrong. It's a harsh truth, but sometimes basketball really is that simple.
I think the referees controlled the game more than anything, making it not even an overly physical game. They just fouled the living daylight out of us. And look,
awesome. I mean, she just steps up in big moments. That's just what she's done. She's done it all year, and I'm really happy for her. She's got a ton of confidence, and she's been huge for our team.
Free throws weren't the only story that night. While the team fumbled at the line, Clark was about to show why she's more than just an assist machine. What happened in the locker room that sparked her incredible turnaround? You thought Clark was down and out after that first half? Think again. This rookie's got more fight in her than a cornered wildcat. Let's talk about her second half explosion that had everyone's jaws on the floor. Picture this. Clark steps onto the court after halftime, and it's like someone flipped a switch. That ice-cold shooting from the first half? Gone. She comes out blazing, dropping a layup early in the third quarter. And that was just the appetizer. Clark goes on a tear, racking up 14 points in the third quarter alone. It's like she's playing a whole different game. The Aces? They're probably wondering if the Fever snuck a ringer onto the court during halftime. But here's the kicker. Clark's not just scoring. She's still dishing out assists like a pro. By the end of the game, she's got 9 dimes to her name. That's not just good, that's league-leading stuff right there. Now don't get me wrong, Clark's shooting wasn't perfect. She ended up 7 for 18 from the field. But after that first half, this comeback was nothing short of miraculous. You know what's really wild? Clark wasn't alone in this second half surge. Aaliyah Boston decided to join the party, dropping 14 points of her own. It's like the Fever finally remembered how to play basketball all at once. But let's not forget about Kelsey Mitchell. While Clark was struggling in the first half, Mitchell was keeping the Fever alive. She scored 19 points in the first half when the rest of the team only managed 13.
Kelsey Mitchell, who was unbelievable, she scored 1 point in the second half, and it was on a free throw where she missed. And this game was lost on the free throw line. And then it was a tale of two halves for Kelsey Mitchell. Kelsey Mitchell was the only she basically played by herself.
Talk about carrying the load. Here's the thing about Clark's performance. It wasn't just about the points. It was about her ability to adapt. When her shot wasn't falling, she focused on assists.
Chemistry is and how we want to play. And I think for us, we got an unbelievable chemistry now to where it's unspoken. And so you get to see it. Even if you don't understand it, trust me, we get it.
And I do like the fact that it looked like the Aces were pulling away, and the Fever never let them pull away. The Fever pulled the game back. They tied it at 60 apiece.
When the team needed scoring, she stepped up. That's not rookie behavior, that's superstar stuff. You want to know what's really impressive? Clark's second half was described as one of her best of the season, and this is coming after she just broke the rookie assist record. It's like she's playing on a whole different level than everyone else. But here's the million-dollar question. Was it enough? Clark's incredible comeback, Boston's strong showing, Mitchell's consistent play. Could all of this overcome the Fever's free throw woes? The answer to that million-dollar question? It came down to the wire. Imagine a game so close, you could feel your heart pounding through your chest. What happened in those final seconds that left everyone breathless? Let's set the scene. The Fever had clawed their way back from a 13-point deficit. They're within striking distance. The crowd's on their feet. You can cut the tension with a knife.
The way anyone would have hoped for that game to have gone. It really, really wasn't. I don't think anyone wanted that game to go like that. And if Caitlin does not play exceptionally well, this team doesn't win games. And that is the issue with this team.
This is the kind of moment every basketball player dreams about. With less than 2 minutes left, the Fever pull within 2 points. The comeback is real. Clark's second half surge has them right there, knocking on the door of victory. But remember those free throw troubles? They're not going away. The Aces aren't about to roll over. Aja Wilson's out there grabbing rebounds like they're going out of style. She ends up with a monster double-double, 15 points and 17 rebounds. That's the kind of performance that can break hearts. Here's where it gets wild. With 56 seconds left, Kelsey Plum of the Aces drains a three-pointer. It's like a dagger to the Fever's hopes. But they're not done yet. They've got one more chance. Picture this, less than 20 seconds on the clock. The Fever have the ball. They're down by 3. This is it, the moment of truth. Aaliyah Boston, who's been a force all game, gets the ball beyond the arc. She lets it fly, and it misses. Just like that, the dream starts to slip away. But wait, there's more drama to come. The Aces' Chelsea Gray steps to the free throw line.
Chelsea Gray was the best player on the floor for either team. Who needs to move when you can hit some of the mad stuff? Non-basketball, just hacking. Like, the Aces are going to beat the Fever every time. They're physically bigger. They're a physically bigger team. Like, Chelsea Gray, you got to give credit where credit's due. She was fantastic. Chelsea Gray was absolutely fantastic.
Now the Fever are on the other side of those free throws that have haunted them all game. Gray sinks both shots, and just like that, it's over. The Aces win 78-74. Can you believe it? All that fight, all that drama, and it comes down to 4 points. You know what's crazy? This game was like a microcosm of the whole season for the Fever. You've got individual brilliance from Clark, breaking records left and right. You've got team struggles, like those free throws. And you've got moments of greatness mixed with heartbreaking near misses. Think about it. Clark breaks the assist record. She has an incredible second half comeback. Boston and Mitchell put up solid performances. But in the end, it's not enough. It's like watching a perfectly choreographed dance where one person stumbles at the very end. This game shows you just how fine the line is between winning and losing in pro sports.
When it came, like, I do wish in general that it had gone a little bit differently. Would I have rather Fever won that game? Yeah.
You can have a player putting up historic numbers, but if the team can't nail the basics, like free throws, it can all be for nothing. And let's not forget the Aces in all this. They showed why they're a top team. When the pressure was on, they didn't blink. Wilson's rebounding, Plum's clutch 3, Gray's ice-cold free throws. That's championship-level play right there. Let's talk about the big picture here. Clark's breaking records left and right, but the Fever still can't seal the deal. It's like having a superstar quarterback who throws perfect passes, but the receivers keep dropping the ball. That's what happened with those missed free throws. You know what's wild? Even with this loss, the Fever are still holding on to that 6th place spot. They're in the playoffs, but man, they've got some work to do if they want to make noise there. Here's the thing.
Of her season, she goes and has one of her best halves. I genuinely thought that was her second half was one of the best halves that she had this season. So, in the first half, with 2 blatantly bad offensive fouls and a technical foul, which was soft.
Basketball's a team sport. Clark can dish out assists all day, but if the team can't convert, it doesn't mean much. It's like having the world's best chef in a restaurant with no plates. Clark's making history, but the Fever? They're still figuring out how to win.